Auzubillahi minash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. This is listening practice of NEBOSH International Journal Certificate IG1 Element 2.2, making the management system work, the health and safety policy. Introduction to health and safety policies, an important document, the foundation stone for good health and safety management in an organization, sets out the organization's aim, identifies who is responsible for achieving these aims, states how the aims are to be achieved, specific to each organization's requirements, not to be confused with policy in the health and safety management system model. Group discussion point: why might the health and safety policy of two organizations be different? Why is not there a prescribed one-size-fits-all approach to developing a policy? Group exercise: why is an organization health and safety policy so important? Why might two organizations doing similar work have different policies? Standards and guidance. Article 14 ILO recommendation R164 requires employer to set down in writing policy and arrangements for health and safety management where circumstances warrant it in a readily understood language or medium. The three parts of a health and safety policy: statement of intent, what is going to be done, organization who is going to do it, arrangements how they are going to do it. General statement of intent, setting overall aims and objectives, complying with law, achieving standards, reminds workers at all levels of their responsibilities, signed and dated by the most senior person, regular review. Setting SMART objective, SMART, S is equal to specific, M is equal to measurable, achievable, reasonable, and time bound. Specific clearly defines, precise, measurable towards a target, quantified, achievable, it can be done, reasonable, within time scale and resources, time bound, deadline, or time scale. Review all 48 risk assessments within a 12 months period. Setting SMART objectives, it will be important to consider who is going to set the objectives, how objectives will be set at each functional level, legal and other requirements, hazards and risks, technological options, financial, operational, and business requirements, views of interested parties. Group exercise, targets may be included in the statement of intent to show commitment to improvement. What targets could be included? General examples only needed. Organizational roles and responsibilities outline the chain of command for health and safety management, identifies the roles and responsibilities of staff, usually includes an organizational chart relating to health and safety, shows line of communication and feedback. Organizational roles and responsibilities: managing director, directors, manager, supervisor, and employees. Health and safety organization chart. Organizational roles and responsibilities: define responsibilities for the CEO or MD, ultimately responsible for accountable management, responsible for day-to-day management, all employees responsible for acting safely, competent persons, first aiders, fire marshals, etc. Specialist health and safety practitioners responsible for providing advice to support management and employees. Arrangements, journal topics, carrying out risk assessment, information, instruction and training, accident and near miss reporting, recording and investigation, consultation with workers, developing safe system of work, welfare and first aid provision, fire safety and prevention, emergency procedures, compliance monitoring, including auditing. Individual activity, can you think of any other specific health and safety hazards? Write down as many as you can think of which you believe should be included in the arrangement section of a health and safety policy. Arrangements, specific risk and problems, lone working, noise exposure control, vibration exposure control, control of exposure to toxic materials, control of crowds, control of transport risk, specific health surveillance requirements, waste disposal. Health and safety policies, how can a policy be effectively communicated? When should it be reviewed? Reviewing policy changes in key personnel management structure, process, technology, and legislation. Following an incident as a result of enforcement action, after an audit, after worker consultation, passage of time annually. End of module 2.2 exercise. What are the key parts to health and safety policy? What types of targets might be referenced in policy and where? Summary. In this element, we have looked at the ILO Occupational Health and Safety 2001 Occupational Health and Safety Management System, which can be summarized as policy, organizing, planning, and implementation, evaluation, action for improvement, and audit. Outlined the ISO 45001, the SMS context of the organization leadership, and worker participation, planning, support, operation, performance, evaluation, improvement, identified the occupational health and safety policy of an organization as an important document which sets out what the organization aims are with regard to occupational health and safety, who is responsible for achieving those aims and how those aims are to be achieved. Explained that the policy is usually presented in three parts: the general statement of the intent, the organization section, and the arrangement section. Noted that occupational health and safety policies have to be reviewed in order to stay current and relevant, and that reviews might be carried out periodically or in response to change. Thank you for listening.